people? It's your boy, the host with the most. I do not brag or boast, and I'm coming to you guys live from coast to coast. It's your boy, I'm Chris Down One, the official police to get anything and everything pertaining to the social media, YouTube streets. How y'all living? I'm living swell. Today we got a brand new review of Tales of the Walking Dead. This is going to be episode 2. Now, if you've been following me and paid attention to last week's recap and review of Tales of the Walking Dead episode 1, you guys know I was not impressed. I was not a huge fan of episode 1. There were some small bright moments of episode 1, but overall I was not too happy with episode 1. Episode 2, before we get into it, spoiler alert, okay? I don't want to spoil people like spoiled milk, but I will talk about episode 2. And if you don't want to get spoiled, just watch episode 2, then come back to this review, okay? Now, since we got all the fine print out of the way, let's get into and attack and address episode 2. Episode 2 was entitled Blair and Gloria, all right? Now, Blair and Gloria was your modern day Thelma and Louise. Now, I know there's going to be a lot of people, a lot of young people in the audience. They don't even know who Thelma and Louise is. I suggest you guys just Google it. Google will be your friend. Thelma and Louise incorporated a lot of great concepts from a lot of famous movies back in the 80s, back in the early 90s that were great for those movie projects, that were great ideals from the 80s to the 90s, but unfortunately not a great concept of ideals when you're talking about Blair and Gloria, episode 2 of Tales of the Walking Dead. Now, this story is wrapped around these two women that worked at this insurance firm. Blair was the boss of this insurance firm, and Gloria was one of her co-workers. And Blair was that type of individual that everyone had to like because Blair was the boss, all right? So everyone had to, placate to her, fake the funk, smiling in Blair's face, all the time trying to take her place, the backstabbers. I don't think it got that creepy or that despicable, but no one liked her. But everyone just smiled in front of her face because they just want to get in where they can fit in because she was the boss, all right? She would overwork her employees, don't even appreciate her employees, and basically treated her employees like kids, giving them chores. And, there was one guy that wanted to go home and see his family, but Blair would keep him in there for long hours and just didn't appreciate none of her workers, all right? Now, Gloria was a receptionist at this insurance firm that was never treated seriously, particularly with Blair. Blair thought that she was disposable. Blair was, watching her every move, accusing Blair of everything, okay? Of stealing time, just leaving early, just not appreciating the work ethic that Blair established at this insurance firm. And this was around the eve where the virus was spread. No one was giving out any news, and everyone talking about it's going to blow over, everything's going to be fine. Blair wanted to capitalize off of this event and make a lot of moolah, a lot of cash, because she perceived a lot of people were going to call for insurance. That means dollar signs for Blair. That's all Blair thought about. And this was around the eve where there was no official reports or what's transpiring with the world to the introduction of Zombieland. So, anywho, Blair took this as a cash moment. Everyone obviously wanted to go to their loved ones, but Blair kept them and trapped them, kept them in hostage. Meanwhile, Blair, who's telling everyone not to panic, decided to take a long vacation, okay? And basically what Blair was doing was she was calling it a vacation, but low-key keeping them there, making money for her. Meanwhile, she leaves and flees the state or the country or whatever. She's leaving, all right? She knows that ish is going to get real out here in these streets, okay? And Blair was utilizing this as trying to make money, and she didn't really care about none of her workers. Okay, so Blair told everyone to stay, and she was really telling Gloria to stay at her desk and accusing her of stealing coffee mugs and things of that nature. So Blair stops at this gas station where her and her husband, her Ken doll, stops at this gas station. They're waiting in line to get some gas, and she sees Gloria leave, stop at the gas station and get out of her vehicle. And Blair said, "I knew she would not stay. I'm going to question her about it." So Blair hops out of her expensive vehicle, her expensive whip, walks up to Gloria, and as they're, arguing back and forth about why she's not at the place, and she was getting ready to fire Gloria, all right, for this, an unfortunate chain of events happened, all right? This woman who was driving to the gas station, she had a passenger that was already sick, that was already showing signs of turning into a zombie, but at that particular time, she didn't know what was going on. The lady thought this individual was just mad sick. Anywho, that individual turned into a full-fledged zombie, started biting the lady. Blair and Gloria is witnessing this. Blair goes back to her car, gets her gun, and then a Homeland security agent intervenes, tell Blair to put the gun down, and the officer tries to intervene. The lady who's getting bitten. Blair tries to steal a gas truck. Then Blair accidentally get into a tussle with the truck driver. The truck driver and Blair are fighting for control of the gun. The gun goes off. The bullet hits the gas truck, and everybody blows up. Okay, and then it starts all over again. It starts from the beginning of the first scene. They are in some type of deja vu. All right, and it kind of that scene in this particular episode kind of reminds me of Bill Murray Groundhog Day. Now, I know a lot of you guys who are young, who don't even know who Bill Murray is, or don't even know what Groundhog Day was. Please just Google it. Trust me, it was a decent movie. It was alright, all right? I've seen Groundhog Day. It was alright, okay? But they was in this deja vu where they would continue to do the same thing over and over. So Blair and Gloria came to their senses saying, hey, look, we're stuck and trapped in this time warp, this deja vu. So maybe we should do things differently so we can get out of this deja vu, all right? They tried to do different things. Blair got Gloria arrested, hoping that would change the events. Back to square one, okay? Blair thought Gloria thought killing Blair would change the events. Back to scene one. But they came to their senses, tried to work among one another. Blair told everyone at the insurance firm to go home, see their families. Blair tells her Ken doll of a boyfriend to go without her. Gloria takes the gas truck and she's driving to her family. Goes back to the same scene. Okay, back to square one. All right, and then at the end they come to the conclusion that look, they have to work together. All right, and when they finally work together, it doesn't rewind them back to scene one. It carries out that day. And then Blair and Gloria steals the gas truck, drives to a bridge, sees a horde of zombies going after the human population. They pour gas down the bridge, burn the zombies. They thought they was going to have a yippee-ki-yay moment like Bruce Willis on Die Hard. They tried to light a cigarette, throw the cigarette into the gas. It didn't unite, but they had, she took Blair's furry scarf, burned the scarf, let the scarf drop into the gas. It blows up. Blair and them walking off like heroes. Then the gas truck blows up in front of them, and they fall. They fall down, get back up, and they both walk off, and that was the end of that particular episode. Now, I felt like this was not it. Okay, I was not feeling this episode, okay, from start to finish. First of all, the writing was horrible, okay? A lot of constant things that they did in season 1, it seems like they adopted those things in season 1 and incorporated and made it even far worse, far unappealing in episode 2, all right? Blair and Gloria as characters. And I've always told you guys, when you talk about Fear the Walking Dead, the OG, the original Walking Dead, the one thing that stands out with both of these phenomenal series is great writing and character development. You are really invested into the characters. No matter if the character is a hero or a villain, you want to see how it plays out for this particular character. Blair and Gloria are forgettable characters, all right? Even the other characters that basically are in this episode are just fillers. They're just extras. They have no rhyme or reason. You don't know their backstory. You don't really know Blair and Gloria's backstory. Even though they didn't like one another at the insurance firm, still that was not enough. We all have co-workers we hate at our jobs, okay? That we just tolerate because we have to work with them. I guess that will be the backstory of Blair and Gloria, but the two main characters were unappealing. They were vanilla. They was plain as vanilla pudding. Blair and Gloria are the worst names for white women. They took the worst generic names for white women and given it to these characters, okay? There's a lot of spectacular, interesting names in the universe that they could have used and labeled for these characters instead of Blair and Gloria. I would have been happy with Thelma and Louise, okay? That's another, and I feel like this episode captivated a lot of great ideas and concepts of movies of the 80s and the 90s. Like I said, Bill Murray, Groundhog Day, Thelma and Louise, Office Space. There was a lot of great concepts that were great for those television shows, those movies. They just collaborated all those ideas into this 45-minute episode, and I was not impressed from start to finish. And I look at the score of episode 2. I'm not the only one that feels this way. A lot of people feel this way. This was a snore fest, a bore fest, okay? This was awful, okay? Like I said earlier, you don't need NyQuil to knock you out and make you fall asleep, okay? You don't need tea that will relax you. All you have to do is just put on this episode, and within 10 minutes, probably less than that, you are knocked out like a light, okay? Like a light switch, okay? You don't even need to know your sleep number on your sleep number bed. Just try to watch this episode from start to finish. I guarantee you're going to go to sleep. I suggest to watch this in the middle of the day, in the afternoon, where you're not tired or anything, and just get through this episode. Or you can just skip this episode, wherever you want to do. Episode 2 was worse than episode 1. The things that made episode 1 a little better than episode 2 was the great casting with Terry Crews and Olivia Munn. Incorporating some aspects of the Walking Dead universe. The writing was not that great, but it was better. This right here, it seems like this was just amateur night at the Apollo with the writing, with the storytelling. There was no character development. There was no characters in this episode that you was interested in. It was just one of those episodes that they could have just left on the cutting room floor. Okay, they tried to be serious at one point, melodramatic. They tried to add some comical flair to it, but this was hot garbage. Okay, I suggest you immediately, expeditiously skip past episode 2. Okay, I will watch episode 1 now. Episode 3. I've seen scenes of episode 3. I haven't seen the full breakdown of episode 3, but I think episode 3 is going to be a great. Okay, they're going to incorporate characters from the original Walking Dead. I guess this episode is going to probably be a backstory to a phenomenal character in the Walking Dead. I suggest you guys watch episode 3. Even though I wasn't a fan of episode 1, I would watch episode 1 I would watch episode 1. Episode 3 looks like has the makings of being something good, but episode 2 was a filibuster. It was just filling up space. It was awful from start to finish. Didn't like the concept, not one iota. Nothing was originally created intentionally for this episode. Yeah, they talked about the Walking Dead universe, but it wasn't good, folks. It was not good. It was hot garbage. I would stay away past this episode. Like I said, wasn't too happy with episode 2, and like I've said in my first review of Tales of the Walking Dead, I just don't think Tales of the Walking Dead is going to make it to a season 2. Now, they did say that this is a mini-series. I don't know what the whole concept of their future plans with Tales of the Walking Dead. Maybe this is a one and done in their minds. But I do not see this spawning a season 2 or a season 3. Maybe if you use characters of the past of Fear the Walking Dead or Tales of the Walking Dead, and you want to know the full backstory of these characters, you can utilize Tales of the Walking Dead as a vehicle for that, okay? But just these regular smuggler people that we don't even know nothing about them. We never followed them on Fear the Walking Dead or the OG Walking Dead. These characters are not it, okay? The episode 1, I was not happy with episode 1, but I watched it from start to finish. I'm definitely not happy with episode 2. Unfortunately for me, I was, I watched it in the middle of the day. Okay, I couldn't fall asleep anyway if I tried. But this is a huge snooze fest. Okay, so yeah, that's all I got for Tales of the Walking Dead. I wanted to do episode 1 of Tales of the Walking Dead on a video, but AMC be tripping out here. They be tripping in these YouTube streets. Now they won't be able to trip this time. I'm not using any footage from Tales of the Walking Dead. I'm not using any footage from other creators when they do Tales of the Walking Dead reviews. I'm just doing still images, and we'll just go from there. But look, this was an awful train ride. I'm so glad I'm out of this train ride. And like I said, I'm going to watch episode 3. I think episode 3 is going to be better than It's definitely going to be better than episode 2. We're going to forget about episode 2 quick, fast, in a hurry. And it's going to be better than episode 1. But guys, tell me what you think. Rate, comment, subscribe. It's your boy, the host with the most. I do not brag or boast. And I'm coming to you guys live from coast to coast. It's your boy. I'm Chris the Don 1. Please hit the subscription button, the notification bell. Share this with your friends, family, and followers. If you want to support the Don Squad movement, hit that join membership button. Membership has its rewards and privileges. All right, I'm up out here. I will see you next week for Tales of the Walking Dead. Now, if you guys want a full introduction of Tales of the Walking Dead recaps and reviews, listen to my YouTube channel. I'm Chris the Don 1 podcast. It's on Spotify, it's on Apple, it's on any type of application that has a podcast format. Just type in the words, I'm Chris the Don 1, separate podcast, okay? 2 words, all right? And I will, talk about it further on my podcast. But guys, I'm up out here.